Okay, so I haven't done this for a very long time, but today we're actually going to do a new box review, and we're not going to waste a lot of time just yapping about nonsense. We're just going to go right into it, and I'm going to go and straight away and talk about what's worth getting, and what's good, what's not good, and should you buy the box. And also we'll talk about the skills, because skills are a very important part of the game now, more than ever. And also because like usually in the box reviews back in the day, it's just the box reviews, but nowadays you kind of always need to read the new skills alongside the new cards in order to like grasp if you should get the new cards, because the skills do change a lot, whether or not the box is worth getting. Anyway, the new box is a Millennium Duel. Unfortunately, it is a main box, and well, let's see what we have. So basically, there are a few supports for Winged Dragon of Ra, the Illusion Monsters, Despia, and Adamancipator. And I guess like a little bit of Sky Striker and Galaxy Eyes. Who cares about those? Amazement. But yeah, mainly Winged Dragon of Ra and Illusions and Adamancipators and Despia. Those are like the main ones. So for Winged Dragon of Ra, we're getting Egyptian God Slime, and this card is like okay. It's just like a guy that you can tribute summon Winged Dragon of Ra using it. Well, what it basically does is that it gives you another way to get the Winged Dragon of Ra out, because back in the day, I say back in the day, it's just like a year ago. The way you make Winged Dragon of Ra is you use Monster Reborn under the effect of the Millennium, whatever the continuous spell is, that allows you to use the Monster Reborn to bring out the Winged Dragon of Ra. And that is like the only way that you can make Winged Dragon of Ra without having like any setup, because if you have like Sphere mode, then you need like a turn of setup. But assuming that you going second and then you have nothing on the field, that's like the only way pretty much you can get the Winged Dragon of Ra out. This thing just lets you tribute summon it, so you can use your normal summon on your Winged Dragon of Ra to attribute summon the guy using this thing that can be treated as free tributes. And then yeah, because there's also like a skill that gives you the Metal Reflect Slime, which is like a level 10 Aqua monster with 0 attack, so that just lets you cheat that out. But yeah, basically that's just like another way you can get the Ra out, so that if one of the ways gets interrupted, you have like a second backup to get your guy out as well. But that's not like the biggest deal. Ancient Chant is also like fine, I guess. It gives you like an extra normal, but I mean, in Winged Dragon of Ra deck, you don't even use your normal that often anyway. You usually use it on like Endymion, which is like a Magistus level 4, to like as like a generic way that you can use to clear your opponent's interruptions, because the way you make Ra is just using Monster Reborn to special summon it anyway. So like the normal summon also is just like whatever. I guess you can use your normal summon on Sphere mode, but if you're using Maverick, I don't think any opponent with an IQ higher than room temperature would put 3 monsters on the field. So not that big of a deal. That this card just searches Ra, and I guess if you tribute summon the Ra, it gains more attack, but that's just like whatever. Again, the skill just gives you life points, so you can use your life points to boost your Ra anyway. And also, you don't even need to boost the attack of Ra anyway, because most of the time you just go straight into Immortal Phoenix, and that's like the way you OTK, so. The big deal, I think, is Blaze Cannon. This card is pretty good, even though it's a super rare, which is, I mean, it's a good thing. That means you can get it easier. And this card basically lets you choose a Winged Dragon of Ra on your field, and it gains the following effects. It is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. When an attack is declared involving that card, you tribute any number of other monsters you control that didn't declare an attack, and then that monster gains the attack. And then after damage calc, whatever. None of these really matter. The only thing that matters is that that card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Now what does that mean is that's basically like a way to protect your guy, because the biggest weakness of the Winged Dragon of Ra deck is that if you have the Winged Dragon of Ra and your opponent removes it, you can't get to your Immortal Phoenix. Like if they bounce it back to your hand, if they banish it, you just don't get to your Immortal Phoenix. Because you need the Winged Dragon of Ra to be on your field to be able to use the effect of the True Sun God to send it to the graveyard and then send Immortal Phoenix to the graveyard. Well, now you have a solution. You can search this card with your many searchers from both the support and also the skill. Can also search this, I'm pretty sure, because it does mention the Winged Dragon of Ra. So you can search this card, protect your guy, make sure that your combos don't get interrupted. That's pretty much it for like the Winged Dragon of Ra support. It's pretty okay. And again, the biggest thing is like that one card, and the new skills is also pretty good. Let's talk about Chimeras, because that's like the big thing about this box. It's like a debut of the illusion type. So let's have a quick look at like the 2 ultra rare illusions. Nightmare Magician is whatever, it's like really bad, but Nightmare Apprentice, this one is the good one. This is like the Diabell Star of the illusion type. You can special summon this card by discarding a card, and then you get to search any illusion monster when it's special summoned. So basically a generic searcher for the illusion type. It's just really good, even good in the TCG because it searches any illusion. So yeah, this card is good. But let's have a look at the other Chimera stuff. Thankfully, the other Chimera stuff are all low rarity, so if you want to build this deck, that's good news for you. So if you're not familiar, what this deck does is basically they make fusion monsters. They aren't actually illusions, a lot of them are just like beasts and fiends, but they make fusion monsters. They change their names into Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, and then a bunch of your guys gain effects when you control a Chimera the Mythical Flying Beast. So that's the entire gimmick. And the interruptions that this deck has, like in engine, are basically one hand rip, which I really hate. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I really hate the Chimera archetype, but that's just me. That's just my irrational hate of this archetype. But this deck does have a hand rip. This guy specifically, when you summon this guy during the end phase, you just rip a random card from your opponent's hand. And then there's also a monster negate. Using a Mirror Sword Knight from your graveyard, you can banish this card while you control a Chimera, and then it negates a monster effect. And also you can set up the fusion. Chimera Fusion is a rare card, I believe. There he is. Chimera Fusion is a quick play fusion spell that you can also set during your turn, and then in your opponent's turn you can fusion summon. Usually I think it's Guardian Chimera in the TCG, but we don't have this card. I don't think we have that card in Duel Links, so I'm not sure what we are making exactly, but that could be another interruption. So that's basically what the deck does. It's not really that good, you could probably tell. The hand rip is very annoying, but in terms of like power level, it's just like okay. But I think the biggest upside of this deck is that just it's very cheap. So yeah. And also, there are skills that make this deck even more consistent, but I don't think consistency is what this deck is lacking. So yeah, this deck is probably going to be okay. I don't expect it to be like really good, but if you like Chimera, it's good for you. Anyway, next is Adamancipators. Adamancipators are getting their stuff. It's historically been really good in the TCG because you can just spam a whole bunch of Synchro and Link monsters. They make like Appaloosa, Savage Dragon, they make Union Carrier, Buster Lock, whatever. Just like they just do cold fusion using the cards because that can do so many things just by having a bunch of tutors. This deck will actually be better in Duel Links because of how like the deck size is smaller, because we only have a 20 card deck. It's much easier to open what you want. For example, if you have like Kawaki Miru Guardian, which is also in this box, if you have this card at 3 copies, it's much easier to open this card using the excavating effects of the Adamancipators. I should probably explain what the deck does before I go into what I think about this deck. So Adamancipator is a rock archetype that's also Earth. What they do is they are a Synchro archetype that excavates the top of your deck and summons any rock monsters that you find. So you can probably tell that it is better in Duel Links just from the fact that you have a smaller deck, so you can open what you need more frequently. But at the same time, we are also not we don't have access to a lot of the generic stuff that the TCG has, like the good extra deck negates, Savage, Apo. We don't have any of those, so we pretty much need to rethink what we are actually gonna do with all the endboard pieces. I imagine it probably will be like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, because we can make it very easily with Rap type plus another level 2. We can also make Dragite, which is a Spell Trap Negate. So it's probably going to be what? Crystal Wing plus Dragite, maybe? And then maybe with something else, maybe we're going to make IP. We have like, yeah, IP, we have IP. We can make IP, so maybe the best we can do is like Dragite, Crystal Wing, IP, maybe a Guardian if you open it. So yeah, the deck can do pretty silly boards even without all of the good generic extra deck stuff like Apo, but the deck does not have a skill. Yeah, Adamancipators don't have a skill, I think. Yeah, we do not have a skill for Adamancipators, so it remains to be seen how consistent the deck will be and how good it will actually be going second, because you know all of these new skills have effects going second that help you play through boards, but Adamancipators don't have that, so it remains to be seen how good the deck will actually be, but I expect the deck to be very playable. I'm not confident that it will be top tier, but it will definitely be playable. Next is Despia. I won't go into Despia too much. The only thing we're talking about Despia is the one bundle card that we got, which is Masquerade. This card is scary. It's like really, really scary. If you don't know what this card does, it makes your opponent pay 600 life points every time they activate a card effect. So usually in Duel Links, they nerf the burn effects because we only have 4,000 life points. So pretty much every single burn effect ever since the release of the Xyz world have the burn values halved. So, for example, Lava Golem has its effect errated to make it only burn for 500 every turn. Masquerade is not a burn effect, it is a life point cost. It pays 600 life points, so it will not be nerfed. It's gonna pay 600, and that's scary. And if you do the math, it's only 6 effects that your opponent is allowed to activate before they are locked out of using any effects, and that is really, really scary. Realistically, probably won't do like too much, because the branded deck is still not very good at making this card yet. We still don't have like branded fusion and stuff like that, or like Lubellion, Mirror Jade, but it's still like a very scary card to have. We also got Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. We have a skill for that, we'll go into that later, but for now, like the card itself is just like whatever. Just still not really a deck that can make use of this card just yet. But if there's like a good Fire Dragon archetype, you can use Gold Sock to banish it, and then you can search any Fire Dragon. And also Linkage is a pretty good Sky Striker support. It's very good. It only gets better over time when more Link monsters come out. Unfortunately, it's another ultra rare in the main box, so unfortunate for Sky Striker players, you're gonna have to be paying a lot for linkages, but it is a very good card for Sky Strikers. Yeah, and then that's pretty much all I want to talk about for the box. Nothing else really is that important in this box other than the things that I talked about. I guess Alpha, the Master of Thieves, is like an okay generic going second tool, but there are like so many other better cards that you can be playing. This card has been out for a very long time in a selection box exclusive, but nobody is playing this card. I mean, if a card is good in the selection box, like Droplet, people will be playing this card even before is officially introduced in a non-selection box, but nobody, not a single guy, is playing this card, so this card just whatever. So let's have a quick look at the skills. There are 4 Marek skills, 3 of them are Winged Dragon of Ra skills. I think just like pretty much only one that's worth mentioning, which is this one, Sun God's Flare. This is probably going to be the new Winged Dragon of Ra skill that will be replacing the old one that was released a year and a half ago. You cannot normal or special summon except for a Divine Beast or Aqua monsters, so no Endymion nonsense. Reveal 1 Winged Dragon of Ra in your hand, and then you play a Guardian Slime from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but negate its effects. So what that does is basically it gives you a free guy for Egyptian God Slime. So you immediately gain a guy on your field that can be used to tribute summon the Winged Dragon of Ra, and then when you make the Egyptian God Slime, you trigger the Guardian Slime to get a search as well, so that's pretty good. Also, if you control a Divine Beast monster or your opponent controls a monster only, you set your life points to 4,100. Basically what that means is that if you use the effect of Winged Dragon of Ra to pay life points, it becomes exactly 4k, so you can OTK with that card. But again, I don't think that really is that useful anyway, because you want to use Immortal Phoenix to OTK if you can. But that also means that you can pay 1,000 life points 4 times using the effect of Immortal Phoenix instead of only 3 times. So that's good. And you add a Monster Reborn from outside your deck to your hand. This is huge, because if you've played Winged Dragon of Ra back in the day, Monster Reborn is a really, really, really big brick. You never want to draw this card. The combos become a lot less good if you draw this card, because you are required to search this card from your deck to your hand to use the effect of the Millennium, whatever the card is, Revelation. Millennium Revelation is what's called. You need to be able to search this card in order to like discard away a Divine Beast. So if this card is in your hand, you can't really send the Divine Beast to your graveyard, and then when it's not in your graveyard, you can't reborn it. So it's really, really bad. But the new skill solves this by just having it added from outside your deck. And that also means that you can play a limit 1 card, because Monster Reborn is limit 1. So if you don't have to play it in your deck, you can play other limit 1 cards if you want. And then if you control no cards, you also add Winged Dragon of Ra, or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. Another search, really, really good. This skill is really, really good. It pretty much solves the outstanding issues that the previous skill has, with the small cost that you'll not be able to use generic stuff like the Endymion as your normal summon. But I imagine that after this skill, you probably want to use your normal summon on the Winged Dragon of Ra itself anyway, because you're getting free tributes for free. But yeah, I won't talk about the other 2 skills. Those aren't very good. I will talk about a few Gravekeeper's Destiny pretty quickly. It's a Gravekeeper skill. We're not really getting new Gravekeeper's monsters, but we are getting this new skill. It locks you into Gravekeepers, of course. It sends the Gravekeepers from your hand to the graveyard, and then you get to search a Gravekeeper. And then if you tribute summon a Gravekeeper, you can do that in addition to your normal summon set. So that makes your level 5 Gravekeeper a lot better. I don't remember what that card is called, just like a level 5 that when it's tribute summon, it like revives a Gravekeeper from your graveyard, I think. Something like that. So that makes it better. And also, just like another Gravekeeper, level 3 that revives from the grave when it's normal summoned. So this skill works pretty well with that, because you can send a Gravekeeper, and then you add that, and you can just normal summon that, and then bring back the one that you sent. And then also at the start of your battle phase, you control Gravekeeper's Visionary. You buff all your monsters by 1,000 attack and defense, and then your opponent loses 1,000 attack and defense. So it just makes this card a really good OTK tool. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's not good. Gravekeepers will not be good after the skill. They have not ever been good, I think. Maybe right after the new Gravekeeper support, they got a little bit of play, but like this skill is not gonna save it. They still have so many issues that the skill just doesn't help. And also, for some reason, they didn't give this skill like a going second effect. They give it to like every single new skill now. But for whatever reason, they decided, nah, actually, Gravekeepers, you're a bit too good. You know what? You don't need an extra going second effect. You're good enough. Anyway, what I'm personally most excited is this skill. Starlight Drive is a Stardust Dragon skill that doesn't really lock you from summoning anything, so you can play this in any deck. I like these kind of skills that don't have any locks and are a little bit less good, but you can play it in a lot of other decks. It gives you a lot more freedom in deck building. I like those skills. What the skill does is, once per turn, twice per duel, if your deck contains 7 or more tuners, you can basically set a free shooting star from outside your deck if you control a Stardust Dragon. So, if your deck can synchro summon a Stardust Dragon, you get a free pop as part of your end board. That's okay, pretty good. Also has applications going second because of the second effect. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can just play a Stardust Dragon face down, and then you can send 2 random level 2 monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Yeah, so you just get a free Stardust Dragon, you flip it up, you set the shooting star from your deck, from outside your deck using the other effect, and then you just get a free pop if you go second, and that's pretty nice. A lot of synchro decks can play this card. I'm most excited to play this in obviously Crystron's, but also sending 2 random level 2 monsters from your deck to the graveyard is exciting. That's like, you can build around this, and there are some like deck building you can be doing with this effect, and I am excited to test this out. And finally, of course, Chimera Illusions is the Chimera skill. It's basically a consistency skill that allows you to grab Chimera Fusion, and then you can also send a level 7 Dark Illusion or Spellcaster with 25 from your hand or deck to the graveyard. It's like whatever. If your only opponent controls a monster, you get to play a Chimera the Flying Beast from outside your deck, so you just get a free guy. That's like, again, whatever. And we also get free archetype skills. One for Branded. It locks you from only summoning Brandeds. Also, you can reveal a Despia or Branded Opening, and then you just add a Despia or Branded Opening from your deck to your hand, and then you can also add the field spell. So it just makes the deck a lot more consistent. And also, if your opponent controls a monster, you send a Despia monster from your deck to your graveyard, and then you add a Branded in red from your deck to your hand. Again, just more ways to fusion summon. But the main issue is that we don't really have that many good targets to make for this deck just yet. The best thing is probably going to be Masquerade. That's like the best thing we can make currently. Quietus, whatever the other Despia level 8 fusion is, that one is like whatever. It just changes your opponent's attack to 0. That's pretty good to OTK, but not good at anything else. But yeah, we're missing a lot of good targets that Branded could actually make. So I don't know how good this will be just yet, but it has the potential to be a lot better in the future. You can probably make the first Dark Lord, because that was what people were making back in the day in the TCG before we got the Branded structure deck. But yeah. And then there's another Sky Striker skill. That's a good thing because the old one is like so out of date. So you can use the first and second effects once per duel. If the deck contains 1 or more Sky Striker, is Rose and 9 or more Striker spell cards. Beginning of your first turn, you add the extra deck guys. Oh, that's the old tart, that's pretty cool. And then, except those that you already can contain 3 copies of, so you can't get a 4th copy. And then you place a Sky Striker airspace area 0 from outside your deck face up in your field zone. That's pretty good. Having a free field spell is good. If it gets popped, you get a free guy, so even if your opponent gets rid of it, it's pretty good. And then, you can send up to 2 striker cards from your hand or field it can be face down to the graveyard and you draw a card. So nothing too crazy, but a pretty good skill. I imagine people will be playing this over like the Link Dark Rays or Fire Rays skill that people will be have been playing in Strikers. This is nothing too broken, which is a good thing. But it's a slight boost to just what the deck is able to do. Just give them more extra deck space, and also just a tiny bit more consistency from the draw, and also the field spell is more consistency as well. Also, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. At the beginning of your main phase, send up to 2 Dragon Ruler monsters from your hand to the graveyard and draw the same number of cards. So it becomes a draw spell. Cool. From turn 2 onward, reveal a Fire Dragon Ruler in your hand, and you add a Fire Dragon Ruler with a different level from your deck to your hand. So you can just exchange any of the big Dragon Rulers to a small, or vice versa. Whatever. It's like, I don't think there is a good deck that can make use of the Dragon Rulers just yet, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've talked a lot, and I don't know if you prefer that, or me to like skim over things as quickly as possible. I know some people like me to talk a bit more, but regardless, if you want to skip to the end to hear my opinions about the box in general, it's okay. It's okay, it's like fine. Nothing too meta breaking. I don't think any of the decks will be like top tier. I think Adamancipator has the potential to be like tier 3 at most. Ring Dragon of Ra is okay. Illusions are okay. Everything is okay. Even like Despia might be okay, but nothing seems too crazy from this box. So you can pretty safely skip this box if you are not willing to spend your gems. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like this kind of video. Tell me if you want me to do more of this kind of video for future boxes. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.